morning.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, how's it going,
How are you, man?
How you doing, Les? What's up, buddy? How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Comedy Works Landmark
See,
Village.
he must not drink because he's very soft-spoken. So.
Oh no, I'm soft-spoken because I drank last night.
Lost his voice last night. It's the tequila's talking right now. All right, so Brett is performing at Comedy Works Landmark tonight at 7:15 and 9:45. Tomorrow, same time, 7:15 and 9:45, and the Sunday encore performance at 7 o'clock in the evening. Thanks for coming by, man.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Well, I first was introduced to him. You were doing that Wild West comedy tour, weren't you?
Yeah, with Vince Vaughn and a whole bunch of. It was that was 08 or 09, I think that came out. Yeah.
You were a kid then.
Yeah,
almost.
I was. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Hey, Brett's
I'm trying to hold on.
Yeah, Brett's been on all over Comedy Central with all kinds of specials and also a lot of late night shows, including the Late Late Show on CBS. You've been on Lopez Tonight on TBS, One Mic Stand on BET. You're all over the place. And do you watch Fox Sports and you see they do a lot of lists, top 10 quarterbacks ever, top 10 this type. He's a regular on that.
Yeah, I did that. Back
Yeah,
in the day.
that's
fun. Are you a
That's
huge
how my
sports fan?
podcast is too. Yeah, we do lists, stupid lists. Yeah, I'm a big sport. I played college football. I played like Division 8 though. You know what I mean? No, I played at CW Post in Long Island.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I'm a huge football fan. Other sports, I'm not really.
You got a bracket going in the tournament?
Nah, not a big March
basketball
Madness
fan?
guy.
Seems like the Jets used to train at CW Post.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. Coach, my
Good
head
memory.
coach was they trained at Hofstra. They were at Post and went to Hofstra. And my head coach was, he was like an expert in the run and shoot. So he would be over there and he would, do some assisting
Mouse
over there.
Davis kind of June Jones disciple then, if he was a run and shoot guy.
Absolutely.
Mouse Davis kind of started that. Yeah, serious question, and then we kind of relax because it's happy hour. But I watch a lot of. You're looking at me funny.
No,
but it's a serious question. I watch a lot of Comedy Central on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
You can see bits that guys do and shows that they do, and I find it greatly entertaining. Do you think, and you're still relatively young, but you've done a lot of work for a lot of years, that with the exposure now of Netflix and the Comedy Channel and YouTube and everything else, has that been really great for your career, or is it that it exposes a lot of good stuff that you're doing that when you come into a town like Denver, people have already heard a lot of those routines that you might have done? I don't know if that's too far a ranging question, but I wonder whether it's a good news, bad news kind of thing.
It's kind of a symbiotic relationship, though. Like between network and television, and then doing the internet. To me, I think the internet's the greatest thing that ever happened to an artist or anybody that. Well, I mean, look.
Because your work gets exposure.
Yes, it gets exposure, and I mean, the problem is that there's a lot out there, so there's a lot to filter through. But if you put out a quality product, people find it, they pass it around. It's weird. I would say probably most people will know me from 2 or 3 of my YouTube clips that they'll come. I did this bit on roller skating that it went viral. And then people wouldn't even know where it's from. They just saw the bit and I saw it on YouTube, and we came and saw it.
Why, are you a roller skater?
No, I was making, when I was a kid, I was making fun. It was a joke about you remember that old guy at the rink when you were like 10? There was a guy that was like 30. That was there, and he was hanging out with kids, but it's about that bit. But that bit went viral, and yeah.
So
about the rental skates.
now you're that old guy.
Yeah, now I'm the old guy at the bar.
So it wasn't really a bit about roller skating; it was a bit about a pedophile.
That pretty much. That's actually what I call him. I didn't know it at the time. As a kid, I thought he was awesome. Then I got older. I'm like, that guy's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Why is he making out with middle school girls?
Sure.
He had a
I know the
mustache.
feeling. I was a member of an organization, I won't mention his name. You had to wear uniforms and carve stuff and everything. And they took us on a trip. And we were staying in a cabin. And we were going swimming. And we all had our swimsuits on. And the guy who was kind of the leader said, okay, we're all going to swim in the nude today.
Oh, wonderful.
And I was 8 or 9, and I thought, something's not right about this. Well, it's kind of like the roller skating thing. I'm sitting there going, really? This is what we're doing? And so when I got to be an adult, I realized it's like the guy at the roller skating.
Yeah, it's like, why are you there, man? You're an adult. We're kids. This is weird.
We talked about it. My bracket is a dumpster fire. I assume you, and in in you people that when you're traveling and stuff, you do
us comics.
You do a bracket.
You white guys.
You do a
The
bracket.
politically correct term is comedian.
Yeah, give it. It's a professional comedian. Comic is me, an idiot, a clown. How's your bracket doing so far?
Well, I told him I'm not into it. I can't do it.
Really?
He's
I
not a
can't do it.
college
I'm not a
basketball
college
fan,
basketball guy.
Well,
Too much, man.
Hello.
I'm rooting
It
for you.
doesn't matter.
I'm rooting for North Florida. Are they still in it?
North
University of
Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
And I like CW Post. I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
I don't
so,
follow that.
but do you still pay attention to football since you played in college?
I was a University of Miami fan. I played my high school ball in South Florida. Right now, I'm a big FAU fan. My best friend got the head coaching job over there.
FAU.
Yeah, go Owls. Yeah.
FAU.
Florida Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're a Division I program.
Sure.
They're in the.
There are about 15 colleges down in South
That's
Florida
why I didn't
that
know
are
what
really
the
good.
I didn't know what the A stood for.
Yeah,
I just
Florida
didn't know,
Atlantic.
'cause-
They're at a Boca Raton, but they're. That's what I'm rooting for now.
You
Well,
must-
I followed him all over.
Well,
so.
wait a second. You did all those lists for Fox Sports.
Yeah.
Don't you have to follow all sports, or do they only bring you on?
No,
to,
they.
to
Well, I mean, it's
participate
like
in the sports you know?
they bring me in. Like I love the NFL. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. Have been since I was a little kid, and
Proud of that Greg Hardy signing?
absolutely unleash the Kraken. Absolutely.
You grew up in South Florida, and you are a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
they were
And
America's
the Dolphins
team.
were right there. Oh, but the Dolphins were right
Well,
there.
see, the University of Miami is the real South Florida's team. Like, you root for the U. Everybody from South Florida loves the U,
And he
unless
grew
they
up-
went to Florida State of Florida.
And he grew up after Marino retired, so he probably doesn't even remember the salad days for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh
right?
no, I remember the Marx brothers and Mark Duper.
Yeah, but
Mark
you were about that
yeah,
big. Yeah,
I was a little kid, but I was all into it.
Maybe you could explain to me, talking about University of Miami in South Florida, I never understood why they built that light rail system. It's kind of an overpass.
Yeah.
From where it built to where, because the only thing that it goes from is it goes from like Fort Lauderdale down to, and you go, who's actually, that people who live in Fort Lauderdale are actually getting on that and going to the Cuban section of South Florida.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a theory about it. Back in the day, South Florida was built by the mob, so I think it was maybe like a fake contract that they got the government to pay. Hey, let's build a monorail that just goes straight for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Hey, this is great. It'll cost us $100 million. Don't worry about it. They bring the trucks in.
And the only reason I brought it up
Cement.
is the only thing along the way is the University of Miami.
That's
is
it. It
on
goes
the
right
way.
through Coral Gables.
All right, something funny's going on here. You grew up in Florida,
Right.
but when you go into your shtick, you sound like you're from New York.
I grew up in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
All
That's
right,
what I
listen,
thought.
here's
I
how
heard
it
the- I
goes.
heard
Let
the New York, New
me
Jersey
clear
in
the
you.
whole confusion. And 15 years, I went to 15 different schools. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Army
born in New
brat?
Jersey, moved to South Florida, back to Jersey, back to Florida. I was back and forth my whole life, which is pretty common in South
Was
Florida.
your family in the mob? Is
No,
that-
well, I was raised by a single mom, so we were always moving around. And then, and I spent a little time in West Virginia, and this is how I became a Cowboys fan, okay? My real father at the time, we're talking about, 79, what was the Super Bowl with Dallas-Denver?
77.
No, then it was the Steelers.
January of 78.
Yeah, because it was around there. And I just remember, because there was 4 teams as a kid on TV all the time. It was like the Rams, the Cowboys, the Steelers,
And the Raiders.
And the Raiders. It was like 4, So my father's, we're rooting for the Cowboys. He's like, come on, we keep rooting for the Cowboys, right? So things happen. They go their separate ways, right? And I just studied Dallas because I figured it's my dad's team, and I learned everything. Like when we drafted Jim Jeffcoat, I called him like, hey, we just drafted Jim Jeffcoat. I was all excited,
You had no life.
and I know, I was all excited. But he goes, why you keep telling me about the Cowboys? And I'm like, because it's our team. And he's like, I don't. He had money on the game, right? And he was so like he just bet Cowboys all the time, and I thought he was a fan. But I had put so much into it, I just stuck with it. Because I grew up in the '80s, we didn't win anything.
No.
Danny White, Tony Dorsett, that era. Doug Cosby, those were my guys.
Well, oddly enough, because it was, that's funny you bring that up, because it was America's team and people like your father would bet on them all the time, the line got out of whack in Las Vegas because they knew that people were betting the Cowboys, so they'd always make it like 2 more points than it should be. And then people started losing money on the Cowboys, and now, do you know what team was voted America's team last year?
I would let me guess.
I'll give you a hint.
Is it Denver?
Yeah.
But see, here's
Maybe
the
some
thing.
Peyton.
But listen, it's not a prize. It's not an award. It's a nickname. It's like that's my beef with Seattle. Okay, you can't call yourself the 12th man. That's Texas A&M. They're literally paying residual. They're paying residuals to use that nickname. You can't do that. You can't take other nicknames. There's a law. I think.
Well, and we talk. Yeah, but you're right. Someone said on the show I do on ESPN every day. Someone said you can't give yourself a nickname. You can't announce, here's my nickname. So guys can't do that. Des Bryant can't say, my nickname is the greatest ever.
Yeah,
no,
you can't. No.
And so you're right. They're paying money to Texas A&M
to use the 12th man. And by the way, let's just get something. I've been to that stadium. Okay, they're pumping noise in there.
Seattle.
Yeah, there's something going on. And my buddy Bill Burr made a point. He's like, it's not like Seattle fans are louder than any other fans. It's something's going on in that stadium. I don't know what they're doing, but I think they got speakers on there. This is my theory now, all right? But it goes along with my monorail theory, all right? I just make theories up, but I think that something's going on. They're pumping sound in there. I don't know what. And that was a catch, by the way. Des Bryant, that was a catch.
Oh, we agree.
Oh, yeah.
You know what was crazy about that, too? And what they did is, not only did they negate one of the greatest catches in playoff history, it would have been up there. But what people forget, too, there was over 2 minutes left. We couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers all game, okay? He had 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. You could have had the greatest comeback drive. Like, it took so much from a sports fan, because it doesn't necessarily mean Dallas would have won. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was on fire. I mean, we still had to stop him again, which we didn't, but to get the ball back. Well, yeah, come on, man. Well, you know how that goes.
There's the cowboy in you.
No, that was the bet I had.
Welcome back to Colorado. I'm sure you appeared here
Yeah, you want
before.
some?
But
We got pizza,
we
too.
Have special, we have special brownies. I don't know if you've heard.
Oh, really? I'm in Colorado. I don't know if I want to try this.
They're real brownies.
Now, whose fingerprint is this?
Both of ours.
Okay. Is this how you guys do it in Denver?
They're 20 fingerprints.
You can start at the other end.
Let
if
me
you
break
like.
the piece off.
Hey, he's Bret Ernst. He's performing at the Comedy Works Landmark Village tonight, tomorrow night, and Sunday. So give Comedy Works a call and secure your tickets.
That's a lot of shows in a short period of time.
Well, he
Like
also
Garth
did. Wait,
Brooks.
he did one last night too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of shows in a short period of time. Garth Brooks is doing 10 shows. You're doing like 25.
Yeah, but I need to do 25 in order to make some money. Garth that can do one and retire.
No, he's a lot funnier than Garth Brooks.
Yeah, well, that's true on the level, but Garth Brooks has never professed to be very funny.
I know. I didn't say
Well,
that.
he's a
I
better
just said
country
he's
singer than
funnier
me, so we're even.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so if somebody comes,
before we go from NFL, though, because you have theories about everything.
Yes, I do.
What do you think about the New England Patriots and their balls?
I think that there's something to that. All right, when you play in the cold, I know if you can catch an under inflate. Now, what were you talking about? 10 out of 11 or 11 out of 12?
more pressure. You mean?
Yeah, and with the kickers, I think it affected the Ravens game more than it did obviously the who'd they beat? The
Colts.
The Colts. It affected the Ravens game more with the kicking, because that's who brought it to their attention. I think there's something going on. Bill Belichick.
Well, what would you do then? If there was something going on, they haven't released the results.
Yeah, they're still investigating.
This test, this examination, this investigation is taking longer, and this is before your time. The Kennedy assassination.
Right.
The Warren Commission.
Yeah, there was a Pruder film on that.
Yeah, maybe that's, they think there is. The old guy took them into the bathroom. But if indeed they are found to do it, because you're an NFL fan, would you give the championship to Seattle? Would
Absolutely
you give it
not.
to the Cowboys?
I would give it to Dallas. I would go back and replay those last 3 games. No, you can't take it away. You can't undo that. Obviously, there'll be some type of regulations, maybe an asterisk. Who knows? I just know that the Patriots, their equipment guys, falling on the sword for this, which is understandable.
Oh, no doubt.
You know what I
Because
mean?
Brady and Belichick aren't going.
Oh, absolutely
Speaking
not.
of fingerprints on the brownie.
No, they're really. The equipment kid is just like, look, I would walk into the office and say, listen, give me $2 million. I'll keep my mouth shut. Box seats.
I'll go away.
And I'll go away. And and we're good.
You were going to say,
I was going to ask
switch
you.
back.
So if somebody comes to Comedy Works and sees the show, what should they expect? What are the themes going to be?
I'm more of a storyteller. I like to tell stories, and I'm working on a new hour special.
Yeah.
So
for Comedy Central.
We don't know where yet.
Okay, sorry.
Can't say it yet, but because we're trying to pre-sell it before it's whatever. But
So, are you using some new material on this tour?
Yes,
to
all the
prepare for
stuff.
that?
It's a new hour. It's different from the last time I was here, but it's a lot of storytelling, like a lot about my life growing up, and I just recently got married, so I talk about wanting to kill myself, going through planning a wedding. It was horrible.
What was hard about it?
Oh,
the key
God.
is to just let your wife do everything.
Well, I just agree. That's all I agree.
That's
The
right.
guy just shows up, doesn't he? I mean, you didn't have to.
Well,
do
that was my
anything,
point.
see?
I didn't want to be involved. I don't need to know. I don't care if the napkins are egg white or egg cream or you know what I mean. I told her plan it, do whatever you want to do, right? Tell me how much it is, and we'll have your father pay for most of it. And I don't want to be involved. And again, you're right. You just agreed because they've been planning it since they were like 4. And you're just like, oh, yeah, a harp. That's a great idea. We need a harp. Ooh.
We can dance to that.
Yeah, what was the big song that you danced to at the reception, though?
You ever hear that song "Smack My Bitch Up" by Prodigy?
Yeah, that was by the Carpenters, wasn't it?
Yeah. By the way, Carpenters, underrated, awesome band. I listen to Carpenters, I lose my mind, man.
Eva Mendes said the #1 cause for divorce in America is women wearing sweatpants. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely disagree. Give me sweatpants all day. Sweatpants, no makeup.
No buttons and zippers.
That's my look, though. I like girls in sweatpants and a baseball hat. It's cute.
I totally disagree with that study. The #1 cause of divorce is marriage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You never really know until you live with them, right?
Well, that's the thing, too, man. I try to pace it out, I didn't want to shoot into it right away. We live together. And, and again, it's, as a guy, I don't see where we win. You know what I mean? We don't win. Like, even, can I say balls? I can say, right?
Yeah.
Even getting the rings a kick in the balls. You know what I mean? Like, you drop all this money, and I get, look, this is what I get. You know what I mean? This little, that's it. They get rocks and,
But I always thought the man should be able to put the
figure
ring
here.
on this one.
Well, I told her, I'm
what
like,
it
why don't I get, like, all right, I get this. I don't really, but give me something else. Like let me get a PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? Like, why don't I get like a wide, you know what I mean? Give me something else. It's like, hey, I'm happy, But it was, I mean, the wedding was great. It was the planning. It was bad, man. Then I'd take engagement photos and,
Oh, yeah.
this
Exactly.
grown man frolicking in every photo.
But you did get to choose the song. That's what I like. You
yeah.
got to choose the song. And did she dance with her father to
Yeah,
that song
absolutely.
also?
Yeah, she danced with it. Yeah, she danced. Smack my bitch up.
Look, Brett, we really appreciate you coming by. Wait, what do you got besides the 1 hour special? What else are you working on?
Wait, if you guys are into lists, I do lists, but not all sports. We do like I have a podcast called The Bret Ernst Show, but we're now changing the name because the network that we're on asks us to.
Changing it to the Jerry Seinfeld show?
No, we're changing. Well, we don't know what we're going to call it yet, but because we've been picking up a lot of traction on Stitcher and stuff. So if you're in the podcast, but just go for the Bret Ernst Show. That's what it's called. And
But
ERNST.
in your Twitter handle? Is that
at
people
Bret
can reach
Ernst, BRET, Bret with 1 T, ERNST.